Hi, I am Dawn Reese, Hollywood Connections. This is really Hollywood Connections because we're super excited to have Lloyd, and he's going to tell his story, what happened. So, Lloyd, come on over here and tell us what happened when you were driving with your friend from Gainesville.
We had left Gainesville, lived in Seminole, and we got ready. Well, we were visiting Panama City, where I used to live, and we had just headed home from there on New Year's Day. And we were both drunk, and we argued before we got in the vehicle. I'm going to drive. And then I said, well, you wake me up when you cannot drive. And that's the last I heard from him. I went to sleep, and we got right in Gainesville, a mile and a half from Shands Hospital. And then my buddy, Brett, fell asleep at the wheel, rolled off the interstate, going over 100 miles an hour.
Wow, what kind of car were you driving?
74 pickup truck.
Wow, and then how many times did it roll?
Well, he flew out his side window after the first roll, and then I rolled the truck 8 more times, and then flew out the front window.
Wow, so then what happened after that?
And when I flew out the front window...
I'm going to have you hold that. I'm going to check. Keep going.
Okay. I flew over 80 feet from the vehicle, and let me backtrack for a second. The guy behind us, the trucker, slammed on his brakes and called the ambulance for us and documented everything he saw.
Wow, and then what happened after that?
And then I flew out the front window.
So you flew out the front window?
Yes.
And the front, wow, your face is amazing. So what happened? Anything happened?
Not that no, I have a few nicks and scrapes here and there and stuff, but
wow,
it can only be noticed by people who really know me.
But I've seen people, I will tell you, that they've gone through the windshield and God, yeah, I'm like, and astonished.
Totally different face.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to say. So, Mike, wait, let me step back for a second. What was your faith at that time? Were you a Christian? Were you a baby Christian, or were you? What was your faith?
I've been a Christian since I've been 5 years old.
Okay.
I was saved when I was 5. Served God wholeheartedly till I was 12. When I was 12 years old, I was on my way to 9th grade. Started drinking, smoking, doing drugs, thinking I had the world in the palm of my hands.
Oh, I know a couple people like that right now. And God is really, this is meant to be for somebody out there. So, what were you smoking? Was it
LSD, marijuana, PCP stuff.
Okay, so you were in the rock star party mode.
Yes, and I was still holding a 4.2 GPA.
Wow.
In school, and so and it was just like, you give me anything, I'll take it on. And I graduated at 16. I was taking almost a double full load in college to become an international corporate attorney.
Oh my gosh. So that's a little bit of your background, but also too is after the accident, let's go back to that. Then what happened? Then they took you to the hospital?
Yes, but while we were on the side of the interstate, I was quote unquote dead.
So they actually pronounced you dead?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
And the one paramedic, there were 2 paramedics there, and I could hear them speaking. And the one paramedic said, well, let's try him on life support. The other paramedic says, okay. And then I really can't, I'm not going to make up stuff that he said because I guess I phased out. But them saying I was dead and I could hear was really flabbergasting to me.
So you had an out-of-body experience then?
Yes.
And do you have this documented? Did the doctors document this as well?
No. I did not have my out-of-body experience until I was in a hospital, until they took me to the CCU.
Okay.
And I was up in the corner of my room and looking down on myself.
So you just lifted out of your body and you could see yourself. How did you feel? Do you remember how you felt when you left your body?
It was just really astounding to me that this was actually happening. Okay. And, I could see myself hooked up to respirators and all this equipment. And I couldn't even tell it was me because they had to put a probe right through the top of my head.
Wow.
And I have a tracheotomy
Wow.
right here on my neck. And
It's healed. You can't see anything.
well, that's because I wear open collared shirts.
Right,
And
Right. Wow. So when you lifted up, was anybody with you?
well, first of all, the sun does amazing things.
I know.
And the Son of God does amazing things.
That's vitamin D.
Yes. And what was your question? I'm
So when
sorry.
you lifted out of your body for a minute, you were in like watching your body, and then was anyone with you when you came out? No.
No. The doctor said I didn't even flinch even once for the first at least 6 weeks after the accident.
Wow. So in that experience, after you left your body, then what happened? This is where the amazing story. If you don't believe in heaven or hell, I want you to listen to this one. And then what happened?
So amazing to put myself through it again. I went to hell, spoke with Lucifer. He seemed like 3 blocks away, and he's like, come here. And
So when you got to hell, what was it like? What did you see? Do you remember anything? What?
all I could see was, first of all, it was like a pitch black, but then there were flames of fire.
You saw oh wow, you saw the flames of fire.
Oh yes, and I saw people just raising up their hands and people in wheelchairs just yelling for help.
Wow. And that, I got to tell you, there's so many people that they're angry. They don't know what to do, and this is for somebody out there. And the thing is, on this earth, and I pray for them and their souls because you don't want to go through what you saw.
Never. I mean, I wouldn't take it back because it brought me to where I am today.
Right.
But I'm very thankful, and I appreciate what God has allowed me to see and go through.
I want to tell you, this man's eyes are shining. He's got you see the glory of God all over him. I'm telling you, and it's such an inspirational story. It touches my heart so much. So I want to ask you, so you said he changed, like in a couple things. He changed into a tuxedo. He changed into different people, or was he the same face?
No, he would change from a tux to being like the devil. He would also like be in a sports volleyball outfit, I mean, it was just so weird. And then his faces would change, just like from a gentleman with a tux on or something, or a volleyball shorts and shirt on, to he would just be like the devil with horns. And he could do that in the blink of an eye.
Wow. But I liked what you said. You said last night on our show last night on Hollywood Connections, really Hollywood Connections, you said that the devil doesn't know your future. He doesn't know with your past. But, tell us a little bit what you were kind of elaborating on the show last night.
Okay, well, last night I also said that Lucifer said, when I first walked up to him, I took 3 steps. He was like 3 blocks away. I took like 3 steps. In the 3rd step, I was right there beside him. Amazing. I mean, I'm getting chills up and down my spine.
So how did you feel next to him? What was your spirit? What you just wanted to get out of there? I mean, of course you do. Right.
Yeah, and I was so shaken up by it that, it's almost like God couldn't even be down there with me. And I was like, you need God back in your life. And I sat there and I told Lucifer, or he told me, he says, I expected to hear yesterday what happened. And I was telling Dawn last night that Lucifer, or Satan, cannot see the past. He can't see the future. He can only see right then and now.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. So how did you leave hell? What happened then?
Well, in the end, after a little bit more, I was in heaven outside of the gates. And I was just there, and I sat there and I was like, what are you doing here, man? You want to go in?
What did it look like?
So amazing.
You probably can't
I
words.
can't even put into words. It is glorious and as great and wonderful as it was. But I sat there and I was just like, all of a sudden, Jesus appeared on the other side. And
We didn't get this far last night on the show, but yes, okay, Jesus appeared on the other side, and then what happened?
he goes, I love you, I love you, I love you, Lloyd. And I said, let me in. And he goes, I won't do that right now because I have more work for you to do on earth.
Wow. What did he look like?
What? Down my spine again.
What did God look like? I mean, what did you see? Was it a light, or I mean, how was he speaking to you? Do you remember anything of that?
A little bit, and it was just, he had a radiance. It was like all around him was just a whole radiance and a bubble of light and of brightness, and the way he looked is just unexplainable.
And then what happened after that?
And then he sat there, and after he said, I love you, Lloyd, and I can't let you in. And then he said, I have more work for you to do on earth. And I said, what do you want me to do? And he says, I have a few things, but most of all, I just want you to bring as many people back as possible.
Wow.
But first of all, I want you to change your life back. And after my accident, about a year and a half afterwards, I rededicated my life to Christ.
When you rededicated, how did you rededicate your life? What happened?
I was just sitting there, and in the middle of the day, and I said, God, I love you more than life itself. And I owned a courier service from scratch that I had started, and I says, you know what, Lord? Do what you want to with me. I'm all yours.
You know, I see what God is doing, and I've seen when I put people on video and we put it up to YouTube and we send it to the 700 Club, we send it to the Christian networks, and you have to have something with your story. Your story is also a movie. It definitely a movie. So any film directors that are out there, and I do know a couple of them, I'm going to be sending the tape over in West Palm we're looking for a Christian film director to take over and do his movie of what had happened, and it needs to be told. This is what I feel in my spirit. I know people want Hollywood, they want connections. Yes, we're on a movie set for Coco. It's amazing. But in the meantime, what is the bottom line? You really want to bring people to Christ, and you don't want them to see what you went through. And so what would you tell somebody? Is there a prayer that you could tell somebody that's watching that you'd like to say something from your heart to them about accepting God right now and changing their ways?
The first thing is, it's not complicated. Christ is simple. He just wants you to just accept him into your life, believe he died, saved you from your sins, and lives forever. That's it. It's 10 seconds, and you're saved. And after that, God is going to do miraculous things in your life.
Wow, you're just such an inspiration. What do you want to do now? What is your plan? What's the path that you're on right now? Besides being on an amazing movie set for Coco.
Yes, I'm trying to find the producers and the directors to put together a movie.
Your movie or a different movie?
My movie, and really I got 3 of them. One producer that I talked with, we were going to do the accident, and then they were saying we can do before the accident and then do another movie of after the accident.
You know, and there are more out there. And the thing is, as a Christian film director, when they have this, there's the Christian Film Festival, the International Christian Film Festival. There are other Christian film festivals around the world, and this has to be in the festivals. You need to be walking down that red carpet, telling your story to everybody. And I just thank you. And what is your social media that they can reach you out, to say hi to you?
It's www.lloydhodge.com.
Well, it's been an inspiration, and I know we have to go sign in for the movie set, and Renee's going to come on and ask you some other questions as well, and she's one of our other reporters, and what a blessing you are. And here we are on Coco, the movie set, and we want to thank you all for watching, and if you would like his story on your TV network, please reach out to 727-871-7788. My name is Dawn Reese, and what is your phone number?
727-647-4408.
All right, Lloyd, it's been a pleasure. What a blessing, and I hope we inspire you today. Remember, give God all the glory and honor. Watch things happen. Get on your knees. Just a situation the other day that happened in, I can't tell you where, but there's a very angry, evil person that has a very angry heart. And I talked to my husband about praying for this person. And what you have to do is not complain about the person, start praying for the person. And that's really important. So whatever you're going through, whatever relationship you're going through in life, and here I'm doing a little preaching, but I just make sure that you write a letter to God, put the names down in a Bible, pray over that every day. If you can't sleep at night, my mother used to say, get up, get on your knees, and start praying for that person. And that's what it's all about. It's like what you said. God said, bring more people to heaven. We don't want to see you burn in hell. We don't want to hear the stories and what you saw, the flames and the torture and the torment. Some people say, well, this is hell on earth. No, it's not. No, it's not. Thank God for what you've got and the blessings that you have. And with God, all things are possible. I'm Dawn Reese, and thank you, Lloyd.
Prayer changes things.
Prayer changes things. Bye. All right. I shut that down.